What's going on, you Brapaholics? I hope you're having a great day. So we're back working on the Trail Boss. The starter came in today, so I just installed that. I apologize, Eugene, but I think you got more issues on this quad than you realized. The starter was bad to begin with. So here's the new shiny starter. In the last video, the starter I think was working for a little bit. When I took the starter out, it wasn't working. So I think the starter to begin with was just 50-50, not working, sometimes working. So here's what the new starter's doing. The same thing as it last time. So I need to go in here and take this cover off and see what is not engaging. I think there's just a gear in there that's stripped out. We'll take this off and see what we're working with. Also, in the last video, I kind of ended it abruptly. I was working on the radiator. I was trying to take this hose off and I found a crack and I just got really mad, so I just kind of ended the video there. Here's what we're working with. It's hard to tell, but right there, it's hard to tell, but right there, there's a crack. And I made it a little worse, but it was there when I was trying to take the hose off. I did some searching last night to see if I can just replace radiator. There is no radiators out there for this thing. None at all. So I'm having a hard time trying to find a radiator, even used ones. Luckily, my brother Cole, he knows how to braze stuff. So I'm gonna have him look at it and see what he can do. I'm gonna try my best to fix it with braze, which is essentially like pretty much gluing metal together. It's kind of like that, but you're using chemicals and heat and stuff to do it. This is some thin aluminum stuff. This aluminum radiator has been sitting, it's old, it gets brittle, it oxidizes. It's kind of annoying. I don't know why they don't make radiators for this thing. So that's what happened with that. Still waiting on other parts. I could put some oil in the transmission now. I got that all drained out. I let it drain for a while. It didn't look too bad. It was a little gummy, not too bad. So we're gonna take this panel off right here. This is where you pull start it. There's a mechanism in there that allows you to pull start it and electric start. And I think that mechanism is broken. We'll just get some little stuff done here and there, and let's get to it. Well, in order to get to this cover here, I gotta take this foot peg off, which ain't gonna be too bad. This ain't good. There's rust in places there's not supposed to be rust. Someone's got a lawnmower out. Dead in the house? I think so. You wanna look at this thing? Starter mechanism. Look how rusty it is.
Holy crap. What did he do? Drowned it?
I gotta ask him. I haven't asked him, but I think he drowned. I think he got left in a lake or a pond or something for a long time.
Does the motor roll over?
Okay, it does roll over.
Okay.
I pull started it, but I couldn't get it to start.
Okay, so it's still rolling.
I'm wondering, I just drained the oil out of it yesterday. It didn't look watery, but starter in it is still not engaging. Something's not, so I'm trying to take this off and see what is not working. There's got rust down there.
Probably needs all polished up.
Well,
probably that stuff.
This isn't supposed to be an oil to begin with, but
right. That's a throw-out bearing clutch. That's separate. Yeah, it's separate of the starter.
Yeah. Well, when I was on eBay, they were selling this with a kit of the starter. I wonder if these went bad a lot or something.
Probably.
So I'm guessing the rust is set up in there.
Probably.
So I think I need a new throw-out. Because I can pull start. Well, I can roll it over, pull start in it, but you're gonna yank your hand off. That's how thin it is.
Ooh.
I don't know what to do.
I mean, we could try.
I would rather try it because I can't find anything. There's no new ones. There's no used ones on the internet.
Really?
I looked for 3 hours yesterday. There's nothing. You cannot buy radiators for these.
Yeah, we can try. We need very, very thin braze rod, and we need to have very, 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 very low heat, like propane heat.
Yeah, I figured. Also, this hose. That's why I was taking it off. This hose has duct tape wrapped around it, right here.
Yeah.
Can you make that at Ina? I mean, as long as the fittings fit.
Yeah, as long as these fittings are the same.
Well, I can take it off and send it to you with you or Brock. See if you can match it. Otherwise, it's $100 for the pair.
He might get away with it. I don't know.
Well,
that almost looks like something. Yes, we could do.
That you don't know.
That I don't know, but it looks like you almost have enough holes. You could almost just put a new end on that, and then.
And I probably do. I don't know if I want to reuse the hose, but I can. Yeah, I could put a new end on that end if that's what. Yeah, we could do that.
That end, I'm pretty confident that we can do. And I know this. I just don't know what this is like inside.
Well, I can take it off and you can look.
Okay.
I need to put something on that.
Yeah.
And I can do that tonight and send it with Brock.
Yeah.
I really haven't asked Eugene what he did to it, but...
So he's got ITP hole shots on here.
Yeah, I know these are nice. They're obviously new. He hardly rode on them. Yeah. But what happened is...
Oh, they're not ITPs. They're Sun...
Those are razors. Those are Razor 2s, I think.
No, they're not even razors.
They're not? Those look like razors.
Some off-brand. Sun F.
Oh. Sun F. Sun.
They almost look like, yeah.
I thought those were razors to begin with.
They were ITP hole shots, because razors are a little bit blackier, and hole shots are usually a little bit thinner to me.
Anyway, I believe he broke down somewhere. He blew a tire. That's all they had, so they slapped it on and they threw it on backwards. Full send! There we go. Alright, so I'm having trouble getting this cover off here. My theory is that this quad got stuck in a pond way back when and sat there for probably a good half a year or more. So water got into places it shouldn't have gotten into and rusted and corroded stuff. So this is the starting mechanism. So there's not supposed to be oil in there or anything to begin with, so that's why it looks dry. But moisture obviously got in there throughout the years. I mean, this is an 03, I believe. So moisture has gotten into places. Started corroding this throwout bearing here, and it's set up, and that's why it's not engaging. And when I was on eBay, and I should have just did it to begin with, they were selling starters in these gears as a kit, and now I know why. They get rusty and they get set up and they don't work right. So this is what I need. This is the issue of why it is not working properly. In the meantime, I still want to try to get this cover off. The stupid brake's in the way, but I want to get this rust cleaned up just because it should be. So what I'm gonna do is take this off, and I'm gonna clean this up with something. I'm not sure yet. So I need one of these. So yeah, that is the plan for now. Yeah. Behaving. Wiggles. Yeah. Can you wiggle? Can you wiggle? Oh yeah. Keeping the house nice and safe. Yeah. You're a good guard dog, aren't you? Cutify him to death. Mm-hmm. So it's next day. I'm gonna work on the trail boss again. I still gotta get the radiator out and the hose, so that's gonna be the plan for that. It finally rained, so it's actually humid out right now. Alright, so here we go. I'm gonna do my best to take this radiator out. It's very fragile. This is very old duct tape. There's not even any tape left, it's just the threading. I just wanna take it off and see what was actually leaking down here. I know many of you think duct tape fixes everything, but it doesn't always fix everything. This hose was definitely part of the culprit. If you look right here, there's a crack. Hard to tell, the camera's not focusing, but that's the crack. The rest of the hose is good. Then I'm just gonna shorten the hose up a little bit. Alright, so here is the radiator. It's gonna be really hard to see, but there's a crack that formed right there, and we're gonna try our best to braze it back together and see if we can save this radiator, because I can't find any online. Now I'm gonna start taking off the sprockets and the chain and stuff, because I'm gonna be replacing that. Still waiting on all the parts. I don't know why this has been the slowest week for me to get stuff shipped here, so I'm sure that's because of the coronavirus and stuff, but I like to be prepped, and that way get everything done in easy fashion. Let's get the sprockets off, get the chain off, get the brakes off. I just gotta move some of the stuff around. It's a little bit of a tight fit here in the garage. I think first things first is we're gonna work on the back end, and then we'll make our way up to the front sprocket, because it looks like it's kind of in a stupid spot to get to. They run a 13/16 nut on this. That's a little bit of an odd size. That's more of a size you'd find on rim on farm equipment. You find 13/16 on farm equipment all the time. I need an extension. I thought I broke that bolt for a second. There we go. Most of the time you can just cheat this around the hub, but obviously not on this one. Alright, so let's take this chain off. They got the wrong master link on this chain, but I got new chains coming in for it, so no biggie. I would say that this sprocket has seen better days. It was definitely time to change her. The chain on this thing was super tight. I'm assuming the chain was jumping, and that's why they had it really, really tight. I was hoping I was able to get it running, because I'm assuming that the engine doesn't need worked on. I hope. I don't know that yet, so I need to get the starter in so I can actually try to start the thing up. So while we're waiting on parts on this, we're going to plan on going riding this weekend. The weather is starting to turn out really good now. So my new GoPro should be in tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some nice shots in while riding and make some more content for you guys. So I hope you guys like the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Please follow me on Instagram and join the Discord server. And I'll see you in the next video.